Rich, you called me order.
Okay. Good evening, San Francisco Democrats. This is the Wednesday, January 28th, 2026 meeting of the San Francisco Democratic County Central Committee. We are at the Milton Auditorium at 455 Golden Gate Avenue. We are back, the first time in several months. I hope this place hasn't changed a bit. Director Chen, would you be so kind as to call the roll? Wherever you're sitting. Oh, there you are. Hello.
This meeting called to order at 6:36 p.m. Roll call. Akbar.
Present.
Akbar present. Auditorium.
Here.
Auditorium present. Arce.
Here.
Arce present. Avalos is absent and I believe excused. Kalamuchi.
Here.
Kalamuchi present. Chan. Chan is, I believe, anticipated. Chandler.
Here.
Chandler present. Chen is present. Coles.
Here.
Coles is present. Dorsey.
Present.
Dorsey present. Galata, I believe, is anticipated. Gupta.
Here.
Gupta present. Hare.
Here.
Hare present. Ho is also anticipated. Kim, anticipated. Kingsbury.
Present.
Kingsbury present. Lai.
Here.
Lai present. Mahmood.
Present.
Mahmood present. Mar.
Present.
Mar present. Win.
Coming late. We'll be here.
Okay, anticipated. Philhauer.
Excused
Absent. Sanjurati.
Present.
Sanjurati present. Two. Two present. Chair Tung is present. Ex officios. Pelosi. Present by proxy. Cuellar. Mullen is absent.
Correct.
Kounalakis is not here. Okay, not is, I believe, absent, maybe? Absent or anticipated? I don't know. Ma.
By proxy.
Wallow, right?
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
By proxy, Cohen. It's not here. Wiener.
Present by proxy.
Proxy, Barrientos. Haney.
Present by proxy.
Proxy, Gallardo. Stephanie.
Present by proxy.
Proxy, foul zone. Chair Tung, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 2, which is the approval of the meeting agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
I have one.
Yes, Director Coles.
Yeah, thank you. This evening,
I think you need to use the mic. And just as a gentle reminder to everyone, please use the microphone as we are live streaming.
Thank you. This evening, I need to catch a red-eye flight to the East Coast to see my son who's in school in New Jersey. And so I would like to make a motion to move the PG&E resolution, which is item 11, up to immediately after the vote on the Director of Finance. And I appreciate everyone's flexibility with this motion.
Okay, thank you. Can we take all the amendments to the, if there are any other amendments to the agenda before we, so we can do it in bulk? Anyone else? I guess, yes.
This is the time, right?
Yes.
All right.
Mike.
I move to add, oh, well, I've got 2 microphones now. That's great. No. Oh, this one's off. All right. Thanks, Jade. I move to add a resolution to the agenda. The resolution should be in front of each of you. It is a resolution condemning the state-sponsored terror by ICE that we have seen throughout our country, but specifically in Minneapolis over the last handful of months. I would ask for everyone's support in adding this to the agenda, and I'll pass it back to the chair.
All right, I think that considering the extraordinary circumstances, and maybe we should have split up this vote. Considering the extraordinary circumstances surrounding the recent killing of Alex Preddy, who is the subject of this resolution, the chair is using her prerogative to add this to the agenda, or request that it be added to the agenda, which we will take by 2/3 vote. Director Chen.
Point of order: the addition of a resolution to the agenda, an item that the body will need to vote for, is out of order in accordance to Article 4, subsection 4A of our bylaws, which requires that resolutions must be noticed to the public, and also Article 4, subsection 4D, which requires that late resolutions must be noticed within at least 96 hours before the meeting.
Thank you for your comment or your request for point of order, Director Chen. I will seek counsel from the parliamentarian who happens to be sitting next to me.
So looking at Robert's Rules, section 1026, subhead 2, a main motion that proposes action outside the scope of the organization's object as defined in the corporate charter, constitution, or bylaws is not in order unless the assembly or by a 2/3 vote authorizes its introduction. If a member offers such a main motion, as member Kingsbury has, the chair can put to the assembly the question whether it be considered. And so with a 2/3 vote, this would be compliant within our bylaws.
All right, thank you for that clarification to our parliamentarian. So I guess that we do need to do this in two parts. So we'll take them in order. The first one is Director Cole's motion to amend to move the PG&E resolution to the first of the resolutions to be considered. So between items number 7 and number 8, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Member Chandler. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Member Arce. Any discussion on that item? Any? So should we just move to? Should we vote on that? Can we vote on that, Director Chen? Let's call the roll.
The first motion is to move item 11 to after item 6B, which I believe is the External Affairs report.
After 7, which is the election of executive committee officer.
Okay, after item 7. So item 11 will be heard immediately after item 7. That is the motion on the table, proposed motion by Coles. I believe that the threshold here would be majority. Let's see. One moment. Calling the roll, starting from Gupta.
Yes.
Gupta, aye. Hare.
Aye.
Hare, aye. Ho is absent. Kim is absent. Kingsbury.
Aye.
Kingsbury, aye. Lai.
Aye.
Aye. Mahmood. Aye. Mar.
Aye.
Mar, aye. Win.
Aye.
Win, aye. Philhauer, absent. Sanjurati.
Aye.
Sanjurati, aye. Two. Two, aye. Akbar.
Aye.
Akbar, aye. Alioto Pier.
Aye.
Alioto Pier, aye. Arce.
Aye.
Arce, aye. Abos is absent. Kalamuchi.
Aye.
Kalamuchi, aye. Chan is absent. Chandler.
Aye.
Chandler, aye. Chen is aye. Coles.
Aye.
Aye. Dorsey.
Aye.
Dorsey, aye. Galata is absent. Let's see. Pelosi.
Aye.
Pelosi, aye. Kanalakis absent. Ma.
Aye.
Ma, aye. Cohen absent. Wiener.
Aye.
Wiener, aye. Haney.
Aye.
Haney, aye. Stephanie.
Aye.
Stephanie, aye. Chair Tom.
Aye.
Aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? There are 23 ayes and 9 absences. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that amendment to the agenda. Second item for amendment, we would add this as item number 12 at the bottom of the we would add this item between the resolutions, or just before new business, which is agenda item number 12. So, and again, this would require a 2/3 vote. So the motion I am seeking is a motion to add the resolution condemning state-sponsored terror by ICE to the agenda, authored by members Galata, Ho, Kingsbury, and Chandler. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by member Chandler. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by member Arce. This requires a 2/3 vote. Could we call the roll, please?
Yes, I believe Chair has accurately stated the motion, which we will, the new item, which we shall call item 14, but will happen after item 12, new business. After 11. Thank you. New item 14 after item 11. Or really after item 10, because item 11 will be after item 7. But yes, moved by Tung, is that right?
No, it was moved by Chandler.
Chandler, thank you. Moved by Chandler. Okay, calling the roll, starting from Hare.
Aye.
Hare, aye. Ho is absent. Kim is absent. Kingsbury.
Aye.
Kingsbury, aye. Lai is
Aye.
Lai, aye. Mahmood. Aye. Mar. Aye. Win. Aye. Bill Howard absent. Sen Girardi.
Aye.
Aye. 2. Aye. Akbar.
Aye.
Akbar, aye. Alioto Pier.
Aye.
Alioto Pier, aye. Arce.
Aye.
Arce, aye. Avalos absent. Kalamuchi.
Aye.
Kalamuchi, aye. Chan absent. Chandler.
Aye.
Aye. Chen is aye. Coles.
Aye.
Coles, aye. Dorsey.
Aye.
Dorsey, aye. Galata. Oh, is absent. Yes. Gupta.
Aye.
Gupta, aye. Ex officios. Pelosi.
Aye.
Pelosi, aye. Mullen is absent. Kunalakis absent. Ma.
Aye.
Ma, aye. Cohen absent. Wiener.
Aye.
Aye. Haney.
Aye.
Aye. Stephanie.
Aye.
Aye. Chair Tung.
Aye.
Tung, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? The vote is 23 aye, 9 absent. The motion carries.
Thank you. So I believe we have amended our agenda in a way that we conduct, We've amended the agenda in a way that we will conduct business today. And moving on to item number 3, which is approval of the meeting minutes from November 26, 2025. Is there any discussion regarding the minutes? Any corrections? Seeing none.
I move to approve the minutes.
Oh, we have a motion by member San Girardi to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. If we can do this by, is there any, can we take this without exception? Okay. All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. The minutes have been approved. Item number 4 is presentations from statewide candidates for public office. We have a couple of people who have asked to address the committee. And while we do not vote directly on statewide constitutional officers or state and federal legislative seats, we will be considering some of these at our meeting or convention next month, February 20th through the 22nd. And this is just informational so that we can get to know some of the candidates. And I think we can give 3 minutes to each presentation. So we'll start with Sally Lieber, who is a candidate for Board of Equalization. And she is not here. So we will not hear from Sally Lieber for the Board of Equalization. We will hear from Patrick Wolf, who is running for Insurance Commissioner.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair Tung. Thank you very much, members of the Democratic Central Committee. This is the Insurance Commissioner role. And I'm done. The Insurance Commissioner role is extremely important.
it's a role that we haven't thought that much about. I'll be honest with you, I've been extremely involved in state and local politics over the last decade, and until last year, I had not thought much about it. But when you look at insurance commissioner and you compare it to the other statewide constitutional offices, it's actually extremely consequential because we have very strong regulatory system in California. And the Department of Insurance has a lot of power, the dominant power in how insurance operates in the state of California, particularly property and casualty, which I'm sure you all know is very much in crisis these days in California. And the insurance commissioner ultimately is the decision maker for regulations. Now, I'm very grateful that there's actually going to be a candidate forum in 2 weeks. So I'm not going to try to go into policies and so forth. We'll have a lot of time to do that. I hope you all are able to attend. But what I really want to impress on you is we have been choosing the insurance commissioner in the wrong way for years. What we have been doing essentially is treating it as a political office. You can think of it as a stepping stone. You can think of it as sort of a pit stop in someone's political career. What we have done is prioritized inside political relationships and endorsements from special interest groups. What we have not done is asked ourselves, what qualifications does the person have? How capable are they of carrying out the office, which, as I said, is extremely consequential. In 39 states, this office is appointed. It's only elected in 11 states. We're one of only 11. Now, elections can work great. Elections can be the absolute best way to choose someone, but you need a person with the right qualifications and the right experience. I know many of you personally, but what you probably don't know about me is I have a career not just in finance, but also in insurance. That from 2001 to 2005, I spent 4 years at a major bank where my job was to build a home and auto insurance brokerage business. And I spent 20 years after that as a financial analyst, working as an investor, as an analyst, analyzing companies and markets, including insurance. And a year ago, when the terrible fires happened in California, I became drawn to the issue from an insurance perspective because of my background. I spent the whole year of 2025 researching, analyzing this role deeply. And I believe I am substantially more qualified than the other Democratic candidates who are running. And I ask you to keep an open mind and take this role very seriously. And I ask you please to attend or pay attention to the candidate forum in 2 weeks. This is a very important election. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick. I would also note that member Kim is she here? She is also running for insurance commissioner. We've allotted her some time.
We did speak, and she said she's going to be late, but she plans on being here.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to bring this back later.
So just to let you all know, the forum that Mr. Wolf was referring to is one that the party is doing in connection with the Commonwealth Club of California. It will be on February 13th, which is a Friday. Oh, and we have member Kim. But that will be held from, I think, 6 to 8 p.m. At the Commonwealth Club. And we have some information we'll send to you about how to attend. We also have a promo code if you register, want to watch it online or attend in person. So it should be a very interesting evening. And we have another candidate for insurance commissioner. It's Jane Kim. Would you like 3 minutes to address the body?
Does that include questions if I'm a little shorter? No. Okay.
No.
Thank you, Chair Tong. Thank you for letting me speak. And it's great to see the members of the San Francisco party here today. My name is Jane Kim, and I am running for California Insurance Commissioner. This is an office that oversees a $3.3 trillion industry, and it is the only backstop between everyday consumers and this business. So insurance, we do a very good job of regulating consumers. We ask all of us to get insurance to drive to work, to get a mortgage, to open a small business. And for this very reason, insurance then has to be affordable and available to everyone. Otherwise, we are cutting everyday people out of the economy. So this office plays a very big role in ensuring that. This industry, by the way, is an industry that is doing very well, far from what the headlines are saying. Property insurance alone made $170 billion in 2024, with one of the top paid CEOs making $26 million. And far from what it also says, wildfires are only on average 6% of their payouts on any given year. The vast majority of their claims go to wind and hail, but they love risk because what it does is it allows them to cancel insurance on those that are considered sick or with pre-existing conditions, if you want to use a healthcare analogy. They keep all the healthy patients, but then they raise all of our premiums using wildfires as a reason. And by the way, they're huge investors in fossil fuels because how they make their business is not our premiums. They invest our premiums in the stock and bond market, including massively fossil fuels, the very thing that is destroying our homes and our communities. I think there's a number of ways that we can improve and redesign this industry to actually work for all of us. One, we need an insurance commissioner that's actually going to regulate this industry. They license all the businesses, that insurers that get to do business here, and they approve rate increases, and they get to negotiate with them. Something that many of you are familiar through the Board of Supervisors. We generate value for the insurers because we are the most populous state in the country, and so they want to do business here. Two, we can actually introduce different ideas and concepts like they have in different states and countries. One is a public nonprofit option, which they actually have in Florida of all states. And two is a single payer concept like they have in New Zealand and in Canada. They also run a guaranteed home disaster insurance program in Spain and France that is guaranteed by the nation as a secondary insurer. By the way, these economies are far smaller than the state of California. So this is something that we can do. They're going to say that these ideas are too expensive or they don't work. But what we already know is that the current system is too expensive and it doesn't work. It is a private market failure. So we have to reintroduce different ideas to make this economy work for all of us. And that is why I'm very excited to run for insurance commissioner to serve you and to fight for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Kim. And if you could take your seat alongside of us now. All right, so we are moving on to item number 5, general public comments. We will take general public comments on all items on the agenda and other matters germane to party business, but which are not on the agenda. The total time is limited to 1 hour, and I think we can extend 2 minutes to each person for public comment today. Executive Director, how many comment cards do you have? 3. All right, 2 minutes each. You get the full 2 minutes. Okay. And before I turn it over to our Executive Director, I just want to take a moment to remind everyone of the California Democratic Party Code of Conduct and our own Central Committee codes and code of conduct regarding sexual assault and harassment here within our own party. We expect the behavior of the members and the public and people who are giving public comment to be respectful and not be harassing, so that this is a friendly, safe, supportive, and harassment-free environment for our members and the public. With that, I will turn it over to the Executive Director.
All right, thank you. Again, if you would like to make a public comment this evening, please fill out a comment card available at the table where I am seated. I will call speakers in the order that I have received comment cards. Please note, this body takes all public comment during this item. Each member of the public will have, as the chair said, 2 minutes to address this committee. Associate members, including club presidents or co-chairs, members of the Democratic State Central Committee, Assembly District Chairs, and regional directors will have double that time, or 4 minutes, to address this committee. I will keep time with the digital display positioned in front of me. It's this. A chime will sound when your time has elapsed. Thank you in advance for your patience. And the first couple of commenters I have are Daniel Landry, Emil Edgerly, I think, and Susan Pfeiffer. Mr. Landry.
Thank you. My name is Daniel Landry. I know a lot of you, hi Jane, voted for you. So first of all, thank you through the chair and the Central Committee. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Got 2 minutes, let me get through it. So we came here a year ago after Safeway chose to leave the Fillmore Western Addition. And as you might remember, we were speaking about, at that time, eminent domain to keep them in the area that was impacted by the redevelopment agencies, right? So fast track a year later, and we've been keeping up with this, but it's time to kind of like let it be known that the community, we just formed the Fillmore Neighborhood Council to have a more grassroots, community-driven plan to deal with all these development and projects that's happening in District 5, the Fillmore Western Addition. So we believe that regardless if a line is building all throughout the city on these prior Safeway properties, we need to have some type of safety net to make sure that we're not against housing. We know we got goals to meet on a state level, on a local level, and we for that. But we want the building and the development to take place with the community. So we're here tonight just to give you an update that we will be calling on you and meeting with you whenever it's possible to discuss community benefits. Now, we know it's a lot of language like with AB 2011 that speaks about fast tracking these projects because of the housing stock. But let's not be under no illusions. When you move real fast and you're not having environmental impact studies and stuff like that, we don't want to, inexcuse the fact that this community has already been damaged by the redevelopment agency, and we need to have some type of dialogue. So I'll leave it there, but community benefits agreements and as well as a development disposition agreement is something that we're looking for. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Mr. Neil Harris, sorry.
Good evening. Happy New Year. Yes, it is Iris, E-R-R-I-S. I just want to say good evening, and I know everybody has a long day. I went from deep lead to fast track, so I've been in offices all day. But I thank you guys for your commitment to San Francisco. As you know, that we're on a downhill but an uphill battle of resurfacing, rebuilding San Francisco. Unfortunately, Western Addition to Fillmore, we've been through all these challenges still. And we're still at the bottom trying to grow up now with everybody, with downtown, and they merged our district with the Tenderloin. So, we're suffering, and we've been suffering before anybody else was suffering. So we continue to suffer. Safeway moved out, our Starbucks closed, our Subway closed. As the mayor said, our small businesses are the highlight of the community. Unfortunately, a long time ago, redevelopment took all our Black businesses out. We don't really have any small businesses. There's no foot traffic going up and down Fillmore Street. It's dark, our lights are out. I mean, like I said, we're just at the bottom. We've been at the bottom and we've been trying to grow up ever since, but we keep getting hit. So as we look at rebuilding San Francisco, I just really hope that we really look at the Fillmore and the damage that's been done. I know we got this new entertainment district, but that's been an entertainment district. They took the entertainment from us and everything there is. So I just hope that we really look at it. Our community centers are struggling. We got a lot going on. Like I said, we've been at the bottom, and we've had different supervisors have different goals and, and projects. But at this moment, we really need to fast track. So we talking about housing, anything, we need to fast track a state of emergency for the Fillmore. So if you guys can help with that, really look at it. I know, like I said, we got the whole San Francisco under siege, but we can really just, Google, as you already know what the Fillmore looks like and what it was, but just if we can just pay a little bit more attention. That's all I ask. All right.
Thank you for your comment.
I was asked by Courtney to hold this up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's limp, like other things. Hi, Member Pfeiffer here. Looking a little goofy because I've had cataract surgery, and this is my first public event outing for the House. I have to wear these goggles, but it's a step forward. Earlier this afternoon, I was on a YouTube with DNC Chair Ken Martin from Minnesota that included Attorney General Keith Ellison, plus a Somali minister and a voting rights organizer. It was very emotional. It was an inspiring call. Of course, they thanked everyone for our support for Minnesota, but strongly encouraged us to get involved, get organized, and start working towards the midterms. Trump and the Republicans are already trying to attack the fair voting rights in Georgia. They've demanded the voting rolls, and this is their plan to disrupt the elections. The only way they can win in November 2026 is if they hijack our elections, and we have to head them off in all directions. Team Pelosi continues to hold weekly phone banks, calling voters in districts for David Valadao, CA 22, and Daryl Issa in the new CA 48. We're patching voters directly through to their office voicemail in DC in support of extending the ACA credits for 2026. It's not over yet, we hope. We need more people making these calls. And then starting in February 12th, the Bay Area Coalition, of which this group is a member, it's 60 plus volunteer organizations also, will resume weekly phone banks into the Central Valley. This is starting the work on the midterm elections. We're just having conversations with voters to ask them what's important to them so they know that the Democratic Party has called them. It's called deep canvassing. And it will resume, and then monthly in-person canvassing is also resuming in Modesto for Adam Gray, who won by a very, very small margin, and we need to make sure he gets reelected. There are carpools available for monthly trips. And just quickly, open enrollment for Covered California continues through this Sunday or Saturday. It's still happening, and we're still trying to enroll people. And very lastly, we've made some flyers. There's some out front, and I'll leave some here. For any of you going to rallies, for what's going on in Minnesota, et cetera, these are flyers with a QR code for the Bay Area Coalition phone banks, because young people are going to those rallies and they're saying, what can I do? And this is something specific. Thank you for these.
And the last card I have right now is Tammy Bryant. Before I call up Tammy, if anybody else who entered the room wishes to give public comments, you need to come over to my desk and fill out a comment card and hand it in to me. Thank you. The next commenter is Tammy.
Good evening, DCCC. My name is Tammy Bryant. I've lived in the Fillmore since 1979 in St. Francis Co-op. And this was before Safeway was even built. Even though my address was 1460 Webster Street and their address was 1335 Webster Street, when I applied to work there, they sent me over to Liquor Barn in Fisherman's Wharf. So they were never very community oriented from the beginning. And I really have to say I'm very angry. I don't know what city employees signed off on such a raw deal, but once again, the Black community was shortchanged and denied resources and assets. They sold Safeway the land for a mere $1 million, and now they get to pocket all the profit. When I moved to San Francisco in 1971, San Francisco was 14% Black, and now it's down to 4 to 5%. So we have a crisis in San Francisco. And the only moral and just thing to do is to insist that this project is at least 50% affordable, because if this land still belonged to the city like it should have, we could have 100% affordable housing right now. And I just want to give my support fully to Eris and Daniel, and I back their plan, and I hope you will too. Thank you very much.
Last call. Any other members of the public wish to give public comment? Madam Chair, that is the balance of my cards.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to agenda item number 6. These are reports from our officers and committees. I'll start with the chair's report. I would like to introduce our Coro Fellow, Laura McFarland, who's sitting over there. She has done some initial outreach and is working on several different projects for us. She's programming February and helping us prepare for convention. Placement ends next week, but we hope you will return. There are new committee assignments for 2026 that were sent out by email in the last couple of weeks. If you would like a different committee assignment, just come and see me and we can have a chat about that. Director Michael Lai has resigned as our finance director. So Member Lai, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate all the work that you've put in as finance director. It is a very demanding job, but we will have a new finance director voted on later in this agenda. I also would like to thank the Endorsements and Issues and Resolutions Committees for their hard work in preparing to kick us off for our endorsement cycles. Because we have a primary with special elections for our local offices and ballot measures, we will get to do our endorsement process twice this year, for the primary and for the general election. So thank you for your hard work on that, members Ho and members Alioto-Pierre, member Alioto-Pierre. Okay, let's see. So for our standing committees, Chair Alioto-Pierre, would you like to deliver a report? Sure. Okay.
Thank you, Chair Tong. So just a real quick update on the schedule that we're looking at. As Chair Tong mentioned, we will have a couple of different endorsement cycles. And so the first one, the questionnaire will be going out on the 29th. We will be having interviews on Zoom on February 23rd. The interviews will go from 5 o'clock to about 7:30. We'll see. We will be interviewing candidates for District 4, District 2 Supervisor, and we will also be interviewing candidates for the Board of Education. So that's a kind of a quick one that we have added in so that we don't go through the cycle twice. So with that, obviously, we would like as many people as possible to participate. We will be sending out Zoom link information closer to the date, and we will also be sending out the questionnaires once they've been completed and returned to us in about 2 weeks. So that's it. And I'd like to thank Parag for all of his help with the questionnaire for the BOE. So thank you for that.
All right. Let's see, the next one I have is bylaws. Chair Chandler.
Chair Chandler, my goodness, what a title. Thank you, Chair Tong, for naming me Chair of the Bylaws Committee for 2026. And thank you, Member Sandarardi, for his stewardship of this committee over the past year and a half. Yes, clap, clap, clap. Pause for applause. I intend to work with the members of our committee to review our bylaws and policy and procedure manual to ensure that they continue to serve the needs of the committee, staff, and all San Francisco Democrats, so that we can have a strong local party that serves in turn to elect strong local leaders who will continue to make San Francisco thrive. So Chair Tong has referred to the bylaws committee proposed draft amendments to the bylaws, as well as the policies and procedures manual, which were authored by Internal Operations Director Mike Chen. I intend to take up a review of these drafts with the committee and will confer with the author on their proposal this month to discuss for potential consideration at our next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I think Vice Chair Kalamucci has an update on contracts and bidding. Do you? Yeah, okay.
The most exciting committee for last, contracts and bidding. Just to share with members and the public, we've put out an RFP for our slate card and digital outreach to vendors for the June and November election. Those are responses to our RFP are due February 3rd. So if you've got a shop that does digital or slate card printing and want to get it in, now is your chance. Thank you, Chair Tom.
Thank you. Moving on to external operations, Director Coles, you have a report?
Yes. The national political landscape is very grim. I don't need to remind you of that. And for that reason, we need to celebrate our successes. And I was not at the last meeting, so I want to shout out that 84% of San Franciscans voted yes on Prop 50. 84%. So the state legislators have redrawn our congressional lines temporarily. And if you zoom out, 64% of Californians voted yes on Prop 50. So 84% in our city, but only 64% statewide. I'm sharing that discrepancy with you to say we cannot take Prop 50 for granted. These lines have been temporarily redrawn, but now we need to work hard to make sure that we flip these districts, or in some cases, like David Gray's district, we need to hold those districts. And Susan Pfeiffer did a very comprehensive job sharing with you the many ways that we can all ensure that we are going to flip the House in November. So I won't go through those again, but I just want to underscore we have a lot of work to do between now and November. And I look forward to seeing all of you at the phone banks. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Director Coles. And I think that takes us to the Executive Director's report.
Thank you, Chair Tung. I'm going to try and be better about getting this done before the meeting and circulating my report in writing, so I don't have to take a lot of time explaining things. Everything that is in the agenda that I linked to when we circulated the agenda are mostly the things I would want to speak to in person. I won't really belabor them all. The one thing I want to draw your attention to here in the room in the meeting is what Chair Tung alluded to briefly, which is Laura McFarland joining us as a Coro Fellow. She has been with us for the last 3 weeks. She is with us for 1 more week. If you're a member of the executive committee, you have been approached by her to record some content, record some video, because we are trying to put a series together called SF Dems Recommends. And there are a couple of other projects that she is working on that I want to now take a moment and toss to her and let her just speak to what those projects are. Laura, if you don't mind, just you come right here.
I'll just pick up this full thing. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura McFarland. As Bobak mentioned, I'm a Coro Fellow in Public Affairs. For anyone who doesn't know, Coro, it's a full-time 7-month fellowship training effective leadership across sectors. So we do rotating internships around a nonprofit, labor union, private sector, and government. And this is my 1-month government placement. So I'm really excited to be here. I'm working on 3 main projects. The first one is with the help of the Commonwealth Club, I'm helping to plan the Insurance Commissioner candidate panel. I'm very excited for that. So that is on February 13th, I believe. So I would really love if you all would attend. Second project is I'm helping to plan a mixer for delegates from San Francisco, San Mateo County, Santa Clara County, Alameda County, and Contra Costa County. That will be at Harrington's before the convention on February 18th. Again, you are all invited, and I would strongly encourage you to attend. It's going to be very, very fun. The third project is I am helping to create some new social media content, doing the series called SF Dems Recommend, helping to highlight different local spots and hidden gems around San Francisco that people who will be traveling to San Francisco for the CDP convention will hopefully see and want to go and check out all these amazing local spots that we have. So tomorrow morning, you will receive 2 emails from me, the first being about the Insurance Commissioner panel, the second being about the delegate mixer. Please spread the word. The Insurance Commissioner has a code that you can put in so that you can get the event for free. But yeah, please spread the word, and would love to see you all there. And thank you so much for having me for this past month.
Thank you, Laura. It's been a pleasure to work with Laura, and I've been very impressed. And my hope is that we're able to stand up more things like this in the months to come. I think it's wonderful opportunities. The only other thing that I wanted to call attention to from my report that I wanted to call attention to verbally is the deadline to register online for the convention has passed. And so unfortunately, if you wish to go to convention still and get credentialed, you're going to have to do that in person. They're going to require, go to the website, the CDP KDEM convention, the actual URL, I'll email to you all afterwards if you don't have it already, but it's in my report. And the deadline to secure a proxy is next Friday the 6th at 5 p.m. If you need help identifying a proxy, I have a list of people who are interested. There's some extra rules around people who, if you want someone to proxy for you, there's some extra rules because you're a state party delegate by virtue of being a local DCCC member. Come to me and I'll explain it all. But the short version is, let me help you work that stuff out if you're not familiar with the process. And then the last thing, it's not in my report, but is Member Galata here by any chance yet? Okay, he's still running late. Director Kelly did relay to me a message that she wanted to have delivered by Member Galata, but he's not here. So I'm going to just pull it up.
It's in all caps.
It is, but I am not going to yell it. Director Kelly says, I have a list of all the SF delegates who have already registered for the California Convention in San Francisco. Thank you for doing so. I also have a list of all of you who have not yet registered. I'm asking you to register or find a proxy so that the SFDCCC can be at one of the most important conventions in our lifetime. If you have questions, please call me or write me. Her phone and email are included, and I will just circulate that all to you offline.
Let me make a correction to the executive director's report, because the website says that online early registration is still open and it closes today. So if you have not registered,
you could try. I've already had 2 delegates tell me that they can't pay anymore. Like they're not able to pay. And the line I thought was 5 p.m. So
well,
I'm happy to be proven wrong, but
it doesn't say that on the website. But anyone who wants to try it and report back to us. Thank you.
Get it early. Anyway, that's my report.
Okay. So our next item for consideration is agenda item number 7, election of an executive committee officer, which is our finance director. This is because our former finance director, Member Lai, vacated the position on December 31st when he informed me that he would need to step back from the position. So are there any nominations for the position of finance director? Member Mahmood.
I nominate the amazing Joe Sangiardi.
That is seconded by Member Dorsey. Are there any other nominations? Anybody else want to step up to the plate? Member Sangiardi, do you consent to the nomination?
I do.
All right, is there any discussion, any accolades, any recommendations? Well, I think Member Sangiardi is well qualified to do this, not only in a professional sense, but he did co-chair the last gala, which I think everyone who attended could agree is one of the best galas that we've ever had at Bimbo's 365. We had a full house, we had great entertainment, we had great food, and so I can think of no one better than Member Sangiardi to head us up in the finance department. Let's see, let's have, since there is a motion and a second, let's go ahead and have a roll call vote.
Well, may I make a friendly amendment to make it by acclamation?
I think we could just call the roll. It'll be okay.
This is the election of a finance director. There is one nomination, Sangiardi. Your choices in voting for this are Sangiardi or abstain. You may also pass on the first round if you so choose. Starting from
just be yes or no.
Just wanted to test our ability to pronounce your language.
I'm very excited for all of it.
Starting from hair. Sangiardi. Ho. Oh wait, Ho's not here yet. Sorry, Ho is absent. Kim. Sangiardi. Kingsbury. Sangiardi. Lai. Sangiardi. Mahmood.
My vote's for Joe.
Mahmood for Sangiardi. Mar for Sangiardi. Win. Sangiardi. Phil Howard is absent. Sangiardi. For Sangiardi. 2. Two for Sangiardi. Akbar. Sangiardi. Alioto Pier. San Girardi, Arce, San Girardi, Avalos is absent, Calamucci, San Girardi, Chan, San Girardi, Chandler, San Girardi, Chen for San Girardi, Coles, San Girardi, Dorsey, San Girardi, Galata is absent, Gupta. Gupta for San Girardi. Ex officios, Pelosi. San Girardi. I believe the proxy for Kunolakis is here. Yes. San Girardi. Mullen is absent. Ma. San Girardi. Cohen is absent. Wiener. San Girardi. Haney. San Girardi. Stephanie. San Girardi. Chair Tong.
San Girardi.
San Girardi. Have all those who wish to vote voted? There are 26 people voting, 6 people absent. Of those, 26 have voted for San Girardi.
Thank you. Congratulations, Director San Girardi. All right, moving on to agenda item number 11, which we are taking out of order. A resolution urging accountability from PG&E and supporting San Francisco's acquisition of PG&E electric assets to establish municipal power. This is put forward by Director Coles and Vice Chair Hare. Who would like to comment first?
Yeah, thank you again for allowing me to move this resolution up. I appreciate your flexibility. When the lights went out in December, it was a reminder that PG&E has a pitiful track record of safety, reliability, and affordability. The remedy to this could be municipal power. Under Mayor Breed's administration, extensive work was done to advance San Francisco buying the electrical grid from PG&E. But when San Francisco made an offer, PG&E refused to sell. And there's good reason for this as far as PG&E is concerned. San Francisco is not a high-risk wildfire zone. The mitigation work that PG&E does in wildfire risk zones is subsidized by San Francisco ratepayers. But tragically, PG&E's safety record has been poor, exhibited by the Camp Fire and the San Bruno gas explosion, among other incidents. And I want to note that PG&E was found guilty and convicted of 6 federal felonies for the San Bruno gas explosion. Meanwhile, PG&E's residential electricity rates have doubled over the past decade. We have an affordability crisis in San Francisco, and we cannot continue to pay the electricity rates that generate dividends to Wall Street investors. We can't risk subjecting small businesses to economic losses and senior citizens to physical harm when the lights go out due to PG&E's mismanagement. 40 other cities in San Francisco already have municipal power. Why can't we have it too? Moreover, on average, the electricity rates in those cities are 20% cheaper than the rates that we get from investor-owned utilities in California. But we need a price tag in order to refine our cost-benefit analysis and sharpen our pencil to demonstrate that this will deliver lower rates for ratepayers in San Francisco. And that's why we've written a resolution where we are urging the California PUC to deliver a valuation to San Francisco. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Emma. But before I do, I want to do one shout out to Member Galata. I'm sorry he's not here, but he is the very first person that told me about San Francisco's efforts to advance public power 2 years ago when I met him at this body. And I was delighted because he agreed to come and educate my neighborhood association about municipal power. And so I owe Peter a lot for educating me on this topic. All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Director Coles. Director, right? Yeah, great. I just want to add a couple of details on what exactly happened in December over the holidays. Is that patients lost medical care, workers lost wages, and small businesses lost one of the most important weekends of the year. And all of this was avoidable. All of this has happened before from the same substation. And I want to also highlight that this resolution does something a little bit different than other resolutions we've entertained before, which is it asks our executive director and our staff to complete or to lead a letter writing campaign to the California Public Utilities Commission, because the opposite of a monopoly is the voices of the people. And so I would like to uplift the voices of San Franciscans, and any Californian can help with our letter campaign, in urging the California PUC to deliver the evaluation and initiate the next steps in making sure that we have a public power that works for the people instead of the shareholders.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hare. Is there any comment or discussion on this item?
Member Dorsey.
Thank you. I want to express my appreciation to members Cole and Hare for leading on this. Also, Peter Galata has been great on this, and we have talked through his work at the SFPUC. I worked in the San Francisco City Attorney's Office for 14 years. And during that time, there was a lot of efforts made to achieve what frankly should have been achieved a century ago. San Francisco should have a municipally owned power utility. The reality is we do. We actually have a public power that serves our municipal load. So this isn't something that is going to be new in terms of something that San Francisco does. But it is going to enable us to do something that will deliver better service, a more environmentally responsible product, and that will also do what PG&E is not doing, which is be accountable to ratepayers instead of shareholders first. That, at the end of the day, has been the problem, and it's why PG&E has not, in all the problems that it has had over the years, and I have worked in, like I said, in an office that was involved in all of them. It doesn't learn from mistakes. It doesn't show an interest in doing anything differently. And I want to just read something from the federal judge, William Alsop, who oversaw the probation for the San Bruno explosion. He said in January of 2022 that while PG&E was on probation, it set off 31 additional wildfires, killed 113 Californians, burned 1.5 million acres of California, destroyed almost 24,000 structures, and concluded that the company failed to live up to its commitment to stop putting profits ahead of safety. This is a quote from William Alsop. In these years, PG&E has gone on a crime spree and will emerge from probation as a continuing menace to California. We got to do better, and we can do better as with a municipally owned enterprise.
Thank you, Member Dorsey. Bless you, Member Chandler. Chair. Anyone else like to be recognized? Discussion? Yes. Member Alioto Pier.
I'd like to thank Member Hare and Director Coles for the resolution. I'm not prepared yet to vote in favor of public power in San Francisco. I found the resolution to be really interesting, and I'm intrigued by it. But it does say very specifically that the DCCC will be supporting the development of a publicly owned municipal electric utility. I applaud a robust discussion on developing an electric system. I'd like to have more information before I actually vote on supporting public power in San Francisco. There is no question that we should have more competition in this market. I would love to see what other options there might be. And I think that the exploration of those and really putting a hard line to PG&E is a great idea. But I do think that there are some things that we need to figure out before we start throwing our support for one track when there could be a couple of different options. And so I would love to see and would look forward to what the California PUC is able to come up with in determining a fair evaluation. of PG&E's electric distribution assets within San Francisco. I love that part of the resolution. But until we have more facts and more data and more numbers to put behind it, I'll be abstaining from tonight's vote.
Thank you, Member Alioto-Pierre. Any other? Member Arce.
Thanks, Chair Tung. I want to publicly disclose for the body that I currently serve as president of the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission, which is the body that will one day, if we can get the action urged in the resolved clause, vote on the price tag. When we get that price tag from the California Public Utilities Commission, I hope to be serving at that time to be able to cast that vote, because it's the policy of our commission under a framework known as Our City, Our Power to acquire those assets to achieve our full energy independence, really in a way that's remarkably similar to the elements of this well-crafted resolution from Director Hare, Director Coles and Member Hare. Tonight I'm wearing, and once again, I hope to be serving on the commission to be able to cast that vote when that day comes. Tonight, I'm wearing a different hat, which is a member of the Democratic County Central Committee with you all. So I'm looking forward to voting aye on the resolution. Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Member Arce. Any additional comment or discussion? All right, seeing none, could I have a motion regarding this resolution? Okay, and you're moving to approve the resolution? Yes. Okay, so Member Kim is moving to approve the resolution. Is there a second? Second by Member Mahmood. Let us call the roll.
This is item 11, resolution urging accountability from PG&E and supporting San Francisco's acquisition of PG&E electric assets to establish municipal power, authored by Coles and Hare. The motion is by Kim to approve the resolution. Calling the roll, starting from Ho, who is absent. Kim. Aye. Kim is aye. Kingsbury. Aye. Kingsbury, aye. Lai. Aye. Lai, aye. Mahmood. Aye. Mahmood, aye. Mar. Aye. Mar, aye. Win. Aye. Win, aye. Sanjurati. Aye. Sanjurati, aye. Phil Howard is absent. Two. Two, aye. Akbar. Aye. Akbar, aye. Alioto-Pierre. Alioto-Pierre abstain. Arce. Aye. Arce, aye. Avalos is absent. Kalamuchi. Aye. Kalamuchi, aye. Chan. Aye. Chan, aye. Chandler. Aye. Chandler, aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Aye. Coles, aye. Dorsey. Aye. Dorsey, aye. Galata is absent. Gupta. Aye. Gupta, aye. Hare. Aye. Hare, aye. Ex officios. Pelosi. Aye. Pelosi, aye. Mullen is absent. Kounalakis. Kounalakis abstain. Ma. Aye. Ma, aye. Cohen is absent. Wiener. Aye. Wiener, aye. Haney. Aye. Haney, aye. Stephanie. Aye. Stephanie, aye. Chair Tung.
Aye.
Tung, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted. Member Galata, would you like to cast a vote on the PG&E resolution? Motion to approve by Kim. Galata is aye. In the nick of time. Have all those who wish to vote voted? With 27 out of 32 possible members voting, there are 25 ayes, 2 abstentions. Chair Tung, this motion carries.
Thank you, and congratulations, Director Coles and Member Vice Chair Hare. Okay, moving on to item number 8, resolution in support of universal childcare in San Francisco. This is sponsored by. Oh, sure. Who would like to co-sponsor the PG&E resolution? Okay, it's Member Mahmood, Member Dorsey, Member Sanjurati, Member Chandler, Member Tu, Member Mar, Member Kalamuchi. I see Member Galata and Member Wynn.
That's right. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So moving on to item number 8, resolution in support of universal childcare in San Francisco. This is by Vice Chair Hare, co-sponsored by myself. Vice Chair Hare, please.
Member Galata, welcome. I just want to say you got several accolades in your absence from members Dorsey and Cole and others. But moving on, sorry. You'll just have to watch the tape after. Okay. Colleagues, this resolution is about San Francisco and whether it will be a city where families can afford to stay and thrive. San Francisco has the lowest proportion of children of any major city in the country. Not because people don't want families, but because the cost of raising children here, especially the cost of childcare, has become unsustainable. And childcare is not a luxury, it's a necessity for working families, especially working women. It is unavailable. When it's unavailable or unaffordable, parents, especially women, are pushed out of the workforce, families delay or forego having children, and our communities lose cultural and economic stability. I'm grateful that in the State of the City address, Mayor Lurie focused on family affordability and making childcare available for free or reduced prices for many families. I would like that was amazing, and I was extremely pleased to see that. I want to see more. I want to see it go further. And this resolution calls on San Francisco to work towards a voluntary, choice-preserving, universal childcare system. It builds on the progress we've made while acknowledging that too many families are still left out. If we want San Francisco to remain vibrant, inclusive, multicultural, young, fun, and affordable, we have to make it possible for families to build their lives here. And supporting universal childcare is one way that we can do that.
Any other comment or discussion, members? I see member Lai struggling with the microphone, so I guess that, would you like to say something?
Yes, please. I want to thank Member Hare and Chair Tong for bringing this forward. As some of you all know, I've been a volunteer preschool teacher, and I'm on the board of Louis Children's Services. And I want to bring a bit of a different perspective to all, in addition to all those incredible things. I'm a public school kid, care about public education, and when we look at some of the achievement gaps at SFUSD, a lot of those start in early childhood. In 0 to 3, 0 to 5, like 85, 90% of a child's brain development happens in those years. And also, there's so few research-backed interventions that actually close achievement gaps, but quality early education, home visitation from infant toddler care, those things do close gaps. There are these two longitudinal studies, peri-preschool, episodarian, that show real impact in those early childhood years. So at a time when we're not seeing that support federally, I'm a big supporter of this and that we need comprehensive universal early childhood from infancy. So thanks for putting this forward and excited to co-sponsor.
Any other members wishing to comment? No. Well, let me just say, as a working mom with 2 kids and living in San Francisco on a government paycheck, it has been, childcare is definitely something that has been very, very much top of mind for me. At one point in time, we were paying more in childcare than we were for our mortgage. And it was a struggle. And there are countries where there is universal childcare, like France, there's universal childcare. And now in the United States, there is a first state that has universal childcare, and that is New Mexico. On November 1st of last year, they offered universal childcare to the people living in their state. And so I think as a progressive city and one that really values whole families, whole children, and recognizes, acknowledges the development that is critical that happens at those early stages, that this is a concept worth supporting and worth investing in if we want to see families remain in San Francisco. So thank you, Vice Chair Hare, for this, for putting forward this resolution. I agree wholeheartedly with the concept of it, and I will be voting aye, since I also co-sponsored it. So anyway, any other discussion, members? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion to approve this resolution? So moved by Member Nguyen, thank you. And a second? Second by Member Lai. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Sorry. This is item 8, resolution in support of universal childcare in San Francisco, authored by Hare and Tongue. The motion is moved by Wynn to approve the resolution. Calling the roll, starting from Kim. Kim, I. Kingsbury. Kingsbury, I. Lai. Lai, I. Mahmood. Mahmood, I. Mar. Mar, I. Wynn. Wynn, I. Phil Howard is absent. Sanjurati. Sanjurati, I. Tu. Tu, I. Akbar. Akbar, I. Aliodopir. Aliodopir, I. Arce. Arce, I. Avalos. Avalos absent. Kalamuchi. Kalamuchi, I. Chan. Chan, I. Chandler. Chandler, I. Chen is I. Coles. Coles, I. Dorsey. Dorsey, I. Galata. Galata, I. Gupta. Gupta, I. Hare. Hare, I. Ho is absent. Tongue. Oh, wait, hold on. Not yet. Ex officios, Pelosi. Pelosi, I. Mullen is absent. Kounalakis. Kounalakis, I. Ma. Ma, I. Wiener. Wiener, I. Haney. Haney, I. Stephanie. Stephanie, I. Chair Tongue.
Aye.
Tongue, I. Have all those who wish to vote voted? Chair Tongue, there are 27 members present. Of those, 27 have voted aye. The motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations, Vice Chair Hare. You can clap. It's okay. All right. So, members, I would like to move back to item number 4 on our agenda. Okay. Let's ask for co-sponsors. Anybody like to co-sponsor this? So I see Director Coles, Member Gupta, you're already on there, Member Lai, Member Chandler, Member Wynn, Member Kingsbury, and Vice Chair Kalamuchi. Okay, thank you very much. We will turn back to item number 4, which is presentations from individuals running for statewide office. I see that Sally Lieberman has entered the room. Thank you for braving the traffic to get here. Would you like 3 minutes to address the committee?
Sure, thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. Let's see if I can turn this on. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you bearing up to me thinking that I could be here by 6:30 and just rolled in. So my excuse is that we did have a board meeting up in Sacramento today, so it was pretty heavily impacted. My name is Sally Lieber, and I'm running for re-election to the State Board of Equalization, and would really appreciate your consideration at convention. Now, this is a super wonky crowd, so probably at least some folks here know what the Board of Equalization does, but we basically oversee property tax collection in our state and also oversee collection of alcohol beverage taxes, the ocean marine tax, the tax on insurers, and the private rail car tax. And we've just been tasked with overseeing new taxes that are going to be on voice over internet protocol companies. So it's been a whirlwind several years that I've been there. I've worked really hard to center the needs of working families in our communities. The district is comprised of 19 counties from the Oregon border down the coast, taking in the entire Bay Area and continuing down to the LA County line. So it's a pretty huge district. Each one of us on the board represents 10.4 million people. And initially I thought that that might mean 10.4 million tax problems that people wanted me to solve. But it turns out that most folks just kind of hide from a tax agency until it gets so bad that they can't stand it, and then they come forward and we fix their problem quickly. So I would really appreciate your consideration at convention. My website is at sallylieber.org. And if anybody has suggestions, comments, questions, whatever, I would love to have you text me or call me on my cell phone. And if you wanted to take down that number, it is 650-248-4660. And that is my personal cell, so please don't write it on a wall somewhere. I think there's even a song about, like, for a good time, call Sally. But for tax solutions, maybe give me a try. We definitely won't make it worse. And so I'd appreciate being considered by you at convention. As women, it's hard for us to be horn tutors, but I think I've done a pretty good job, and I'm chair of the board this year. I'm the only member that's eligible to run for re-election, and so I'm hoping to be kind of the conduit and the bridge for a whole new board that comes in. So thanks again very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, moving back to our regularly scheduled agenda. Item number 9, which is a resolution in support of comprehensive reproductive justice, including the right to prevent, delay, plan, and form families. This is by Vice Chair Hare, who is our most prolific member for this meeting. You win the award.
Thank you.
A+. All right. Thank you for your support of my prior resolution. Colleagues, I'm going to talk about an issue that chronologically is a little bit before childcare. This resolution is about expanding our understanding of reproductive justice to reflect the realities of our city and of our values as Democrats. The Democratic Party has long and rightly stood by abortion access, bodily autonomy, and reproductive freedom. This resolution builds on that foundation by affirming that reproductive justice also includes the freedom to build a family. San Francisco is a city where many people form families later in life. I previously mentioned that San Francisco has the fewest children per capita of any major city in the United States. It also has the oldest mothers of any city in the United States. We also have a huge and vibrant LGBTQ community for whom forming a family is a little bit more complicated. For many, becoming a parent requires support like IVF, IUI, surrogacy, adoption, or fostering. Care that is often hidden, quiet, not talked about, inaccessible unless families can afford tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical care that is not covered by insurance. We've all had friends who leave the city to start a family. I've also had friends who leave jobs they love in the public sector to take jobs they hate in the private sector because it provides IVF. I've also had friends forego having a family altogether because their insurance doesn't cover queer family forming. I have also had friends who want to adopt but don't qualify because the space requirements of housing in San Francisco is just too expensive. We're not fulfilling our promise as the party of choice unless we stand by those who've decided to have a family and need support. This resolution calls on our party to explicitly include family building in our definition of reproductive justice so that choice truly means the ability to decide if, when, how, and with whom to form a family. If we believe in freedom, equity, dignity, then we must support families of all kinds, including those who need some help. That's what this resolution does. Thank you, Vice Chair Hare. Is there any comment or discussion on this item? Member Nguyen.
Thank you, Chair Tung. And thank you, Vice Chair Hare, for bringing forward this resolution. I've actually been a part of queer family planning webinars and seminars, egg meets sperm. In the queer LGBTQ community, it's often family formation is actually a hard topic to talk about. Sometimes people get shy around it. So there's definitely different kinds of families in the LGBTQ community. And so I really applaud this resolution and I want to support it for sure. I just want to also call out that there's co-parenting that often happens in the LGBTQ community. Oftentimes like a lesbian couple or a gay couple need one or the other, egg meets sperm kind of thing. And so co-parenting solutions are also different kinds of family in San Francisco, and they have different, and the law is pushed by our former Assembly member, David Chu, authored legislation around that too. So I'm very interested in this. I think this is a great first stance on resolution, and I'm glad to support it. And thank you so much, Vice Chair Hare, for bringing this forward.
Thank you, Member Nguyen. Members, any other thoughts, discussion? Well, I will say from the not queer family building process, but as an older mom, that this is something that is very important. The idea that that a person can make a choice as to when they have their families is something that's very personal, but also something that is part of our freedoms. And I'm lucky enough to have had some coverage for IVF, for choices to build my family when I was able to. I was a first-time mom at 42, second-time mom at 46, but it's because I had a financial ability to plan my family in the way that I wanted to. And so the idea that Democratic Party can be progressive about who gets to build families and when they get to build them is something that is very meaningful to me. And thank you, Vice Chair Hare, for bringing this forward. I think it is something that if we truly want to say that we are progressive, then we allow people to have those choices. And those choices should not be dictated by how much you are able to pay, what kind of job you work, or what kind of insurance you have. Because I think that as a person, you should have a fundamental right to build your family. So thank you, and I will be supporting this resolution. Okay, seeing no other comment, could we have a motion to support this resolution? I heard moved by Member Nguyen. Is there a second? Director Coles, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Item 9, resolution in support of comprehensive reproductive justice, including the right to prevent, delay, plan, and form families, authored by Hare. The motion on the floor is by Nguyen to approve the resolution. A roll call vote, starting from Kingsbury. Aye. Kingsbury, aye. Lai. Aye. Lai, aye. Mahmood. Aye. Mahmood, aye. Mar. Aye. Mar, aye. Nguyen. Aye. Nguyen, aye. Philhauer is absent. Sanjirardi. Aye. Sanjirardi, aye. Tu. Aye. Tu, aye. Akbar. Aye. Akbar, aye. Alioto Pier. Aye. Alioto Pier, aye. Arce. Aye. Arce, aye. Avalos is absent. Kalamuchi. Aye. Kalamuchi, aye. Chan. Aye. Chan, aye. Chandler. Aye. Chandler, aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Aye. Coles, aye. Dorsey. Aye. Dorsey, aye. Galata. Aye. Galata, aye. Gupta. Aye. Gupta, aye. Hare. Aye. Hare, aye. Ho is absent. Kim.
Kim had to walk out.
Oh,
So
okay,
she's no
okay.
longer-
I'm sorry.
She left the meeting at 43 or 44.
Oh, thank you. Kim is absent. Ex officios, Pelosi. Aye. Pelosi, aye. Mullen is absent. Kounalakis. Aye. Kounalakis, aye. Ma. Aye. Ma, aye. Cohen is absent. Weiner. Aye. Weiner, aye. Haney. Aye. Haney, aye. Stephanie. Aye. Stephanie, aye. Chair Tung.
Aye.
Tung, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? Chair Tung, there are 26 members present. Of those 26 have voted aye. The motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations, Vice Chair Hare. All right, we are on
Are
to.
there any co-sponsors?
Oh,
Additional
co-sponsors.
Sorry.
So Chair Tung, Member Chandler, Member Kingsbury, and Member Nguyen. And Member Mahmood. And Member Mahmood. Thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 10, resolution in support of 8th grade algebra in public schools. This is brought by Director Chen, and would you like to introduce your resolution?
Thank you, Chair Tung. I'm normally transcribing over here, so I don't have a lot of time to talk. It's a fairly short resolution. The backstory is that in 2014, San Francisco Public Schools dropped 8th grade algebra. I think the motivation, I think, was good. It was to try to improve health outcomes and equities. But we found out a couple years later that, hey, like it actually did not help do the goals that we wanted. And additionally, having algebra access in middle school is something that is very important to families. And I myself would have benefited from middle school algebra. I know it's something that's very important, especially in the API community. And now there is a pilot that is wrapping up in SFUSD where they're looking at ways to bring algebra back to SFUSD middle schools. And Member Gupta can probably explain much better than I can, but I believe that there will be a vote, and they're coming up very soon about path forward. And I think this is, number one, the right thing to do. I think number two, this is incredibly popular. I believe Proposition G supporting 8th grade algebra passed with something like 78% of the vote. And I think this is also very timely and impactful. So I would appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Chen. Is there any discussion on this item? Member Gupta.
Thank you, Member Chen, for putting this forward. I speak to you today and make my, oops, sorry, thanks. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I make my comments as a member of the DCCC. In 2014, as Member Chen mentioned, SFUSD did take away 8th grade algebra. In fact, a Stanford study found that it widened the equity gap rather than help to solve it. It's encouraging that SFUSD has adopted a new math curriculum, which should see much better results. This is absolutely critical, especially bringing back 8th grade algebra, because we did lose hundreds of families when SFUSD took away 8th grade algebra. I had an opportunity to sit on the workshop and on the committee that designed the pilot to test. This will be coming before the Board of Education. In doing so, bringing back 8th grade algebra not only helps to close the equity gap, but also provide opportunities for all SFUSD students to take advanced math courses such as AP Calculus, AP Statistics, and other courses that then set SFUSD students for success in STEM careers, especially in an area like the San Francisco Bay Area, like San Francisco, where such careers are important. So thank you so much, and I will be supporting this measure.
Thank you, Member Gupta. Anyone else? Member Arce.
I was just going to say that as a parent, my wife and I, we have 2 sons in public schools, one of which is in 8th grade, and last year started to figure it out around math. Wasn't going to take algebra because we kind of remembered it wasn't available. Now it's available again. The young man has been taking algebra throughout his 8th grade, and it's helped take him to another level in terms of his academics. Everything else came up, and was very grateful to be able to have 8th grade algebra for him. We have another 10-year-old who's starting middle school, and I pray that the school board will continue the pilot so that that little dude can take the 8th grade algebra too. So great resolution. Thanks, Mike, and looking forward to voting for it.
Okay. Any other members wishing to comment on this resolution? Well, I took 8th grade algebra and I turned out okay. So I didn't do much math in college, but I did get up all the way to AP Calc BC. So yeah, I didn't get a 5 on it though. So I did take the AP test. I did get credit, but all of that credit helped me graduate from college. Without any other comments, members, can we have a motion to approve this resolution? Moved by Vice Chair Harris, seconded by Member Arce and his sons in math. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Thank you. Item 10, resolution in support of 8th grade algebra in public schools, authored by Chen. The motion is by Hare to approve the resolution. Calling the roll, starting from Mahmoud. Mahmoud, aye. Mar. Mar, aye. Win. Win, aye. Philhauer, absent. Sanjirardi. Sanjirardi, aye. 2. 2, aye. Akbar. Akbar, aye. Aliotapir. Aliotapir, aye. Arce. Arce, aye. Avalos, absent. Kalamuchi. Kalamuchi, aye. Chan. Chan, aye. Chandler. Chandler, aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Coles, aye. Dorsey. Dorsey, aye. Galata. Galata, aye. Gupta. Gupta, aye. Hare. Hare, aye. Ho. Ho, aye. Kim is absent. Kingsbury. Kingsbury, aye. Lai. Lai, aye. Ex officios. Pelosi. Pelosi, aye. Mullen, absent. Kounalakis. Kounalakis, aye. Ma. Ma, aye. Cohen, absent. Wiener. Wiener, aye. Haney. Haney, aye. Stephanie. Stephanie, aye. Chair Tong.
Aye.
Tong, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? Chair Tong, there are 27 members present. Of those, 27 have voted aye. The motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations, Director Chen. Okay, we have already taken up item number 11. So now we are moving to the amendment in the agenda for item number 14.
I'm sorry, does
Oh,
anybody want a
co-sponsors.
co-sponsor?
Do you want, I mean, you've got a lot of co-sponsors already. Do you want some more?
For
Okay.
sake of procedure, if anybody, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Any additional co-sponsors to this? Member Chandler, Member Mahmoud. All right, so moving on to item number 14, which was added late to our agenda. This is a resolution condemning state-sponsored terror by ICE, presented by Member Galata, Member Ho, Member Kingsbury, and Member Chandler. Which one of you or ones of you would you like to speak first?
Thank you, Chair Tong. Thank you, colleagues. Good to see you all. Happy New Year. Thank you as well for to Chair and to all the members for adding this item to tonight's agenda for discussion. And thank you to the co-sponsors for working together collaboratively on the language that you see in front of you tonight. I think many of us have, over the past few weeks, just been just appalled and terrified about what's happening and are looking for what we can do, what can we say as Democrats in this moment. And I think there's a lot that needs to be said. And I think coming together in this moment to make this statement is really important for the party, and just want to appreciate, I know a number of us were contemplating bringing forward resolutions. We were able to put something together that I think reflected our thoughts in this moment. And again, there's so much more I think that can be said and needs to be said, but just a few thoughts that I wanted to share tonight. I just think we can't afford to look away in this moment. We are being told not to believe our eyes. We are being told that an ICU nurse and a mom are domestic terrorists. We are seeing a 5-year-old boy coming home from school being used as bait to ambush and kidnap people. We're seeing law-abiding neighbors attacked and people murdered in the street in cold blood. So we cannot look away. We know what we're seeing, and we know what is happening is real, and it is terrifying. And I think what is clear about this entire state-sponsored terror that we are seeing is that cruelty is the point, right? This is about fear. It's about power. It's about trying to keep us docile and afraid. It's about white supremacy. It's about scapegoating. It's about chaos. It's about tearing families and communities apart. And it's really also about distracting from all of the other epic failures of this administration. Let's not forget the Epstein files. What's worst of all is that we're being told to accept a narrative that does not match what we're seeing. But again, we know, right? We know what we are seeing, and we have a responsibility to say so out loud. And I want to also just really acknowledge and lift up the Minnesotans who have shown, I think, what it looks like to stand up for their neighbors in this moment, to protect one another, to refuse to be silent, to call a general strike, to see thousands of people in the streets. There is power there. And I think we have a responsibility as Democrats and as San Franciscans and Californians to do the same, because we know that it can very well happen here next. I also want to acknowledge that there have been 9 murders at the hands of ICE over the past year. And I do want to take a moment to lift up the memory of all of those who have been killed by ICE. Many of us know the name Renee Good, Alex Preddy. But I also want to acknowledge the names and say the names of the 7 others who have been killed. Heber Dominguez, Parade La, Victor Diaz, Luis Caceres, Geraldo Campos, and Luis Yanez Cruz. And I hope we can adjourn tonight's meeting in their memory as well. So I think this resolution is really the least we can do in this moment, and frankly, it really isn't much. I think statements or strongly worded letters are not enough to fight fascism, right? This is the time for tactics, not tweets. We need Democratic leadership to stand firm and really stand united in this moment, opposing any additional funding for ICE at minimum, demanding independent investigations, demanding justice for the families of those who have been murdered and those who have been kidnapped and are being held in detention, right, without a lawyer, without due process. We need to demand accountability, of course, from DHS leadership. We need Kristi Noem to resign. We just need to use every legislative and procedural tool that we have available to us. I know it's challenging for our congressional reps being in the minority, but there are things that we can do to hold the line, and we have to hold the line. And I think we need to have the backs of our Democratic leaders that are trying to hold that line right now, right? In this moment, there is a bit of a turning point that's happening right now, and I think we need to add our voice in this moment to say this enough is enough, and we need our folks to be fighting in every arena right now. Because what's most chilling, I think, is hearing again that these actions that we're seeing by ICE are being defended by this administration. These deaths are being dismissed. So we cannot allow this to be the normal. We can't allow this to just fade from our attention. We have to keep the pressure on. We have to keep speaking out. We cannot look away. And I just thank you tonight, colleagues. I hope for us to be united in support of this and how we can continue to use our platform and organize here in our community as well, because we don't know what's coming, but we certainly know it can come, and we need to be prepared and continue to stand tall and call on our local leaders as well to speak out in this moment, right? Silence is deafening, and we need everyone in San Francisco and in our state to make sure that they are holding the line as well. And I know our ex officio members here particularly have been strong voices on this, but we need to make sure as a city we continue to speak out and be unified in this moment. So thank you. Thank you for the privilege of sharing those remarks, and I would defer to other co-sponsors and colleagues for any other remarks on this resolution. Thank you.
Okay, member 2.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank members Kingsbury, Galata, Chandler, and Ho for taking charge on this extremely important resolution. Now, everyone take a deep breath because I'm not going to motion for an amendment. I'd like to thank the authors for working with me to add what I thought was necessary to this resolution. What has happened not only in Minnesota, but this country has put me into a state of fear. We have now seen the public executions of Renee Nicole Good, Alex Preddy, Keith Porter Jr., and others, by what I call as domestic terrorists. Not only are they publicly executing citizens on the streets for protesting and documenting their actions, but I do not want to lose sight of the immigrants and children that are also being kidnapped off our streets and separated from their families. We have seen immigrants and American citizens arrested in broad daylight, stripped of their basic rights. This will not blow over unless we take a firm stand like the brave people of Minneapolis. It will only get worse. There's a real possibility that San Francisco could be next. I would like to thank the district attorney for being one of the first electeds to actually lead and take a stance on condemning ICE. This is not a time to conform. What we need are strong leaders to stand up for what is right and defend our communities. I will be happily voting yes on this resolution, but please remember, Trump wants us to be intimidated into silence, but silence is complicity. Thank you.
Are you making me talk? I'm sorry, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm losing my voice a little bit. I hadn't planned to say anything, but right before I got here, I had a friend of mine who works in the entertainment industry text me that she had just gotten off a call with the CEO of one of her companies. And until today, they had been told that if ICE arrived at one of their venues, that their order was to ask for a warrant. She said, as of today, in light of what happened over this weekend, that they have been ordered to simply let ICE in. Don't impede any investigation. Act as though it's an active investigation. Don't impede, just let them in. This is the effect that fear takes on people. Even large corporate entities are afraid, and they're willing to knuckle under. It's our job as the Democratic Party to stand up and be a voice for the voiceless. And that's why it's so important for us to make a statement and show that we're not knuckling under, that we understand how important it is to stand up to this type of state-sponsored terrorism, to stand up to this type of fear, and to let others know, others that are out there that are scared, that we are here, that we have their back, that we are not giving up, and that our democracy will continue to stand. And even when it feels like it's in retreat, that there are still those of us that are fighting for their rights and for their values, and that whatever happens, we will always, always have their back and stand up for them. So thank you so much to my co-authors on this resolution, to my co-sponsors on this resolution. I know we had a lot of back and forth, and is that Mr. Chandler?
Oh, shit, sorry. Chair Chandler. I just wanted to know, I'm not going to repeat what everyone else said, but I do think there's an important corollary that just was brought to my attention about an hour before this meeting on my Facebook memories. 9 years ago today, myself and hundreds of others flooded SFO to stop a plane from being turned around during the Muslim ban. 9 years ago today. The videos that I had there, the parallels to the first Trump administration and this Trump administration are sickening. But the thing that was most powerful was the fact that because hundreds, if not thousands of people took BART, went directly to SFO on extremely short notice when they heard that planes were being turned around. Because of that, because of the hours that people just sat at SFO, the people were let off those planes. and to see what's going on in Minneapolis, where I have a significant number of friends from working on the marriage campaigns there. The nature of a tragedy is you get to see the best in people at the same time. You think of the Mr. Rogers, look for the helpers quote. And that's been during these really, really dark times, the fact that seeing the people of Minneapolis making me remember of my time at SFO, turning that plane around making sure that plane didn't get turned around. As Member Gladys said, this is really the least we can do, but it is something we can do as a body to make sure that our elected officials who expect our endorsement know what we expect of them. And so I'm proud to co-author this resolution, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Member Chandler. Any other comments from members? Member Dorsey.
I am happy.
Turn it on.
Hello, okay. I'm happy to support this, and I really appreciate everybody's leadership on it. I think this appropriately reflects just the horror of that we're all feeling and with what we're watching. I'm married to an immigrant, and this is something that it's part of our. I never thought I would fear the uncertainty. We're waiting for the day that he's called into court or whatever, and we've got our own green card process that we're pursuing. So it is personal to me. The one thing that I want to do, and this is the second time tonight, I'm going to channel my former job as city attorney spokesman, just to set folks' expectations for my colleagues who are from the Board of Supervisors who are here. There's a line in it about pledge absolute opposition, and I have no problem with pledging absolute opposition to ICE, but I do want to set expectations that the city and county of San Francisco has to be very careful about not doing anything to obstruct or impinge on the federal government's ability to do its job. And I will just say this is something that I lived with when I was working for Dennis Herrera under the Bush administration. I think we never thought it would be as adversarial a federal government as we have right now. But one thing that I learned for many years is that San Francisco is the highest value political target for people who watch Fox News and MAGA and everything else if we have a misstep. So we're in for it. And I know that the Justice Department and everybody wants us to do that, which is why I talked to David Chu today. They regularly provide us with confidential memos of what to do's, the do's and don'ts, and what not to say. So I just want to we can absolutely express absolute opposition to ICE, but just to set expectations about what the city can do. The city itself can't oppose ICE or obstruct what it's trying to do. We have the absolute right under the 10th Amendment to not cooperate. That is the thing that every time that we have gone to court, Dennis Herrera did it, David Chu is doing it. Every time we go toe-to-toe with the federal government when they're trying to defund us because of our sanctuary city status, we are relying on the 10th Amendment. We would violate it if we actually did something to impede the federal government. That's why we do this, and I told David Chu I would make a pitch for that without violating privilege. So I'm happy to support this, and thank you everybody for your leadership on it.
Thank you, Member Dorsey. Always the voice of reason. Members, any other comments on this resolution? Member Wiener.
Thank you, Chair Tong. The Senator sent me a statement to read. What we are seeing from ICE, Customs, and Border Patrol and other federal agents is a reckless disregard for human life and dignity. It's a violent abuse of power that has no place in any democracy. The killings in Minneapolis and the refusal to take accountability are part of a broader pattern of lawless conduct that is terrorizing communities across the country. That is exactly why I introduced SB 747, the No Kings Act. The state Senate passed the bill on Tuesday and is on its way to the Assembly for action. The No Kings Act is a first-in-the-nation legislation to hold ICE, Border Patrol, and other federal officers accountable for lawless behavior, closing a legal loophole that holds federal officers to a different standard than state and local law enforcement for constitutional violations. Other states have begun to emulate the No Kings Act, but the vote makes the California Senate the first legislative body in the country to pass this groundbreaking ICE accountability legislation. The bill now sits before the State Assembly, and I urge the Assembly to pass it as soon as humanly possible. ICE is breaking into people's homes, kidnapping people, and killing people, and we must hold them accountable. Only accountability can end this lawless behavior, and Californians are demanding that we act with all possible haste.
Thank you, Member Weiner. So I issued a statement as the chair earlier this week, but I would like to read it to this body. There are times in history where right and wrong is as clear as day. What ICE is doing in Minneapolis is not just wrong, it is profoundly un-American. ICE agents took the life of Alex Preddy for no reason, but his exercise of the freedoms that our country was built on. To add insult to injury, Trump's minions have tried to justify the actions of its agents by spinning lies about what the videos showed and by attempting to disparage and rewrite who Alex Preddy was in life. The abuse of government power in Minneapolis in the weeks leading up to and including the killing of Alex Preddy shocks the conscience in ways I never would have believed could happen in our democracy. On the heels of the killing of Renee Good, it shows that ICE's actions are a concerted strategy to terrorize those who would exercise their First Amendment right to peacefully protest the government. It is the systematic oppression of dissent through sanctioned violence that is the province of tyrants and dictators. I will also say something that may be a little bit controversial, is that outrage is not enough. That if you are outraged, that is just the beginning point for what we need to do. The next step is action. And thank God for those people who were standing by with their video cameras, with their cell phones, recording what was going on when Alex Preddy was killed. Thank God for the press for taking the time to look at all of those videos and to dissect what happened and to publicize, to inform, to educate, to tell the truth. It is because of those people and those institutions that have not yet faltered, even under this administration, that we are here, that we know what we saw with our own eyes, that Alex Preddy was murdered by our government. And it's not lightly that I say these things because I work in law enforcement, I'm a prosecutor, but this is outrageous. But it's not enough to be outraged. People need to step up and do whatever it is that they can do and whatever it is that they are comfortable doing, but do something. So if it is attend a protest, go on a march, do a phone bank, do that. If it's record and stand by, do that. If it is help your neighbor, do that. If it is console a friend, offer support, do that. But you must do something, because we can't change things with outrage. We can only change things through action. And so, if this is the beginning point, then I hope all of you, all of the Democrats in San Francisco, all of the people who believe in our democracy, no matter what party registration you have, will do something to help change the situation that we are in. And Susan Pfeiffer, who is an agent of change, standing in the audience, urging everyone to register to vote. And then we have a way to make change. We have a concrete way to make change, and that is our midterm election. So we can do more than just sit in our outrage. We can help register voters. We can help make sure that the midterms this election cycle count. And people will say it almost every single time. This is the most important election of our lives, but this time it really feels that way. So I hope all of you will get your grassroots organizing muscles on and that you will put on those shoes, whatever's comfortable in walking in, and really just turn out to help change our democracy for the better between now and November. All right, I've said my piece. Is there a motion? Member Mahmood. Motion seconded by Member Ho. All right, let's have a roll call vote.
Thank you. This is item 14, resolution condemning state-sponsored terror by ICE, authors Galata, Ho, Kingsbury, Chandler. The motion by Mahmood to approve on a roll call vote, starting with Mar. Mar, aye. Win. Win, aye. Sanjurati. Sanjurati, aye. 2. 2, aye. Akbar. Akbar, aye. Aliotopir. Aliotopir, aye. Arce. Arce, aye. Kalamuchi. Kalamuchi, aye. Chan. Chan, aye. Chandler. Chandler, aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Coles, aye. Dorsey. Dorsey, aye. Galata. Galata, aye. Gupta. Gupta, aye. Hare. Hare, aye. Ho. Ho, aye. Kingsbury. Kingsbury, aye. Lai. Lai, aye. Mahmood. Mahmood, aye. Ex officios, Pelosi. Pelosi, aye. Kounalakis. Kounalakis, aye. Ma. Ma, aye. Wiener. Wiener, aye. Haney. Haney, aye. Stephanie. Stephanie, aye. Chair Tung.
Aye.
Tung, aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? Chair Tung, there are 27 members present. Of those, 27 have voted aye. The motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you very much, members.
Co-sponsors?
Any co-sponsors? Okay, Member Nguyen, Member Arce, Member Mar, Vice Chair Kalamuchi, Member Mahmood, Member Dorsey, Member Lai, and Member Gupta.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item number 12. Is there any new business, members? Member Nguyen.
Thank you, Chair Tung, and thank you, colleagues, for unanimously supporting that resolution. I just want to call to the attention, there's a National Day of Action called on this Friday, the 30th, San Francisco to stand with Minnesota, ICE out, a general strike, so no school, no shopping, no business as usual. Youth and workers will be walking out 1 p.m. at Dolores Park. So 1 p.m. at Dolores Park, ICE out. National Day of Action is a great place to do registration of voters. It's a great place to activate people and get them involved in organizing in a mutual aid way to look out for our neighbors. Because honestly, I'm not seeing as much organizing as we can be doing, and the organizing just doesn't happen by itself. The Minnesotans showed us that. They were doing trainings on how to do this for the past year, so they were ready, and to the points, they were killing the helpers now. So we need more helpers. We need San Franciscans to stand, and we need to train them. And so I really highly encourage all of our members to show up 1 p.m. at Dolores Park in San Francisco this Friday, the 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Nguyen. Any other new business or announcements? All right, then we move to item number 13, which is adjournment. Member Galata has already suggested that we adjourn in the memory of those who have been killed by ICE.
And I realized I failed to say Keith Porter Jr.'s name when I was reading off the list of names.
Yes, thank you, Member Galata. Any other in memoriams or in celebrations? Member Nguyen.
Yes, I would like to close tonight in honor of a dear friend from the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus and activist and just a beautiful personality, just a cheerleader for democracy, David Klatt. He's a chosen member of my family from the chorus, the Gay Men's Chorus, and so many folks have wanted to include some remarks, so I'm reading them here. From Sanford Smith, the current reigning Empress of San Francisco as Africa America. He is one of the most loyal friends and chosen family anyone could have. If you needed him, he could be there. He would. Always a smile, a look, much sass, and he completely understood what the world wasn't fair to people of color, to those who were different, to those who didn't conform. And he always stood on the right side of history. As a founding member of SWAG, he brought professionalism and excellence to everything we did. Plenty of fun mixed in. My heart is broken, but my heart isn't broken, but shattered. This is the second loss of a founding member, and I can only hope that Church Len Connor was waiting him at the end of the rainbow, arms wide open to welcome Clitty Clatt home. From Curtis Jacobs, David and I met in New York City 46 years ago in a dance class with Charles Kelly. We performed together in Acapulco at the Princess Hotel in C'est Fantastique, and later in La Cage aux Folles, one of the highlights of our show business careers. David had a rare and unique talent. He could sing, dance, act, and he will be deeply missed. And then from his best friend, Ernie Tovar, David was one of the best friends one could ask for, loving, caring, and the spirit of angels. We were the three musketeers, Brent, David, and I. So many great memories of smiling, laughing, drinking wine at Blush. David was so talented, and he hid facts that he didn't even share of his brilliant years of singing and dancing on Broadway and theaters all over the world. David, you shined on and off the stage. You dressed with flair. I will miss singing next to you in SFGMC, and I miss our silliness we shared. I love you, David Clatt. I'm grateful that you chose me to be part of your chosen family. Rest in peace, my beautiful friend. I personally knew David very well. I would see him on the bus, on 37th bus, going up and down from Twin Peaks to the Castro with a smile and a twinkle in his eye. And no matter how the days became for him as his health deteriorated, he was always kind and the sassiest pitcher I've ever met in gay softball. So I want to, he fills a room with so much humor and warmth and grace, and he passed away yesterday, free now from his fight with cancer. We will miss him dearly, his voice, his laughter, his light. May he rest in peace, surrounded by music, love, and joy. And we have to remember the joy, because that is what makes our San Francisco so magical, is the people, and it's our community. And that's what we are fighting for when we say we're fighting against ICE and coming in on it. So anyways, thank you so much for indulging me in this.
Thank you, Member Nguyen. My condolences. Member 2.
Okay, I'll try and keep this as short as possible, but today is the 5th year anniversary of the death or the murder of Vicha Ratanapakdi, and it's really important because of his murder and what had happened to him. Just because he was Asian, that triggered so many people to come out to the streets and protest for stopping Asian hate. And because of Vicha, I can proudly say that I became a Stop Asian Hate activist, and that's how I got into politics, because as you guys know, I stand up for what I believe is right. And what is right is stopping Asian hate and to never judge others for the color of their skin or be murdered for whatever they look like. So because of Vicha, and I always want to remember him by sticking up for others and always speaking up and never backing down from a fight. And I know he'd be here today. He would be really proud of all of us who have stood by him. And stop Asian hate and always stand up for what you believe in. Thank you.
Thank you, Member 2. Yes, Member Alioto Pierre.
Thank you. I'd just like to end with an in memoriam for Matt Kennedy. Matt was a good personal friend of ours growing up. Great funny guy, life of the party type. He passed away over the weekend at the age of 61 from cancer. Mark is one of the Mazzolas, and so it'd be nice if we could send this to Union 38 and Larry, Larry's cousin, and Larry Sr.'s nephew. And so with that.
All right, and anything else, members? Anyone in memoriams or in celebrations? All right. Well, with that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
All of the